Hello, and welcome to another episode of The Well-Appointed Desk. Today I'm super excited to show you a sort of custom mini journal that I made over the weekend. This is all in sort of preparation for the September magical readathon that is called Orilium. It is part of the World of Aldea. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. But it is an online sort of a book reading challenge. I started doing this readathon challenge last year. I will include links to the organizer. She goes by the initial G, and her YouTube channel is called Book Roast, I believe. She also has a Patreon and everything, but the whole idea is to create sort of a role-playing game, gamified process for reading the books on your potentially extensive TBR list, which in my case is the case. So last year, as it was my first year, I set up my role-playing character for Orilium, and there's a backstory that you can read and all these details about sort of this magical world where you will be you sort of choose your house, sort of like Harry Potter house cup kind of thing. But this is done in a magical, like a planet that has magic, and the houses are associated more like with a university or like a higher education kind of thing, library sort of vibe, so that you don't have to. I don't think most of the people who participate are like children. Most of them are like college age or older who are doing this challenge. Many people have been doing this for like 5 or 6 years now. But for the month of September, you choose a character, you choose a calling, and then the calling provides prompts for which books you might read. So to give you an example, I printed these out. They're really like low quality. This whole thing is free. You don't have to pay for anything, so I'm probably not giving anything away by showing these. I printed this lovely, it's all like beautiful parchment color and everything on my crappy black and white printer, so I apologize. But the calling that I chose was Thread Mage, and there's a whole story here about what a thread mage is, and there are like about 25 or 30 different callings that you can pick. Everything from like a math magician, there are like spell weaver, there's just all kinds you can pick, and really it doesn't really matter which one you pick. You could probably pick one at random, because really what you want is here, which is your either for spring or for autumn, what level in a specific subject. So for autumn, I need to do a Q in alchemy, a Q basically qualified in spells and incantations, and ordinary in inscription, and an ordinary in restoration. And so in order to hit a Q, I have to actually do the ordinary, or the qualified is what it is. So I have to do the ordinary and the qualified in those categories. And then this was my cheat sheet. This was the syllabus for this month, and you can tell I've already like abused the crap out of this. But I went through and sort of highlighted and underlined. So for inscription, for example, I need an ordinary level, which is proper cataloging, and the prompt is alphabet wheel. So I realize this is lots and lots of layers to basically get to the point where I use like an alphabet wheel online to pick a letter, and then I pick a book that starts with that letter. So that is just one example. Again, like some people pick their calling specifically because it doesn't require a lot of books to be read. Some people play 2 characters and read 1,000 books. Books count whether you do audio or paper or graphic novels. And these are all for imaginary internet points if you complete your challenge. And there are some online events throughout the month where you can sort of join in a live YouTube chat, and do reading sprints. So she'll set up where she'll talk for a little bit, she'll do some contests, and basically give you internet imaginary internet points, and then set a timer for 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and you just read quietly. And it's fun because lots of other people log on, and it forces you to just sit for 30 minutes and read. And then G comes back on and we'll play some more games for imaginary internet points. The advantage of the imaginary internet points is that there is, in this fantasy world, there is what do they call it? An emporium where you can use your imaginary internet points to purchase scrolls, which, like, say you're reading a book and you don't like it and you want to DNF it, you do not want to finish it, you can purchase a scroll using your imaginary internet points to get credit for that class with that particular book. Or say you are realizing you're not going to finish in time, you can purchase a scroll to finish your book later. There's just different things like that. And then there's also a whole bunch of imaginary products that you can buy for your character, so that your character can have, a backpack that allows them to carry a whole bookshelf with them or whatever. It's very silly. It's very fun. Really, the bottom line is that you pick a calling, you get prompts. The prompts help you choose books. And then you have a month to finish them. And in the process, there's a bunch of other people doing it as well. Suffice it to say that I'm so excited about doing this. This is my third semester. They do one in the spring, one in the fall. It's my third semester of doing the Orilium Magical Readathon Challenge. And I was so excited about it, much to my husband's amusement, that I took one of the sort of handmade field notes of books and turned it into my Orilium sort of book to keep track of all the books that I'm reading. So I thought I would just flip through it really quickly and share it with you, so you can kind of see what I did. Maybe this will inspire you if you were already planning on doing the Orilium challenge, but maybe hadn't decided to start a journal or whatever for your classes. Maybe this will inspire you, or maybe this will give you better ideas than what I came up with. So this is a little 3.5 by 5. It's essentially a field notes. You could use a field notes if you have one floating around. I think that this challenge is perfect since you're reading probably somewhere between 6 and, like, in my case, probably between 6 and 10 books potentially for the month. I didn't need like a big, Leuchtturm A5 size 300-page notebook to keep track of all of this. This allows me to basically do one semester in a little book and feel like when I'm done with the semester, I've completed it. So I'm going to flip through this and just show you. So I used a ton of, and I have them all here just, as a visual reference, but I went through my stash of washi tape and stickers and various bits and pieces to sort of find an assortment. And because this book was made with pre-printed paper, this one I happened to make using mostly black and white paper, so it seemed really appropriate for sort of the fall academia, dark academia sort of vibe. I went through my collection of stickers and washi tape and grabbed anything I felt looked sort of, let's see, not those, looked sort of plants, because my character, is an elf, so she's sort of a woodland creature. So even though she is a thread mage, she likes to make things with plants and nature, and she has a familiar that is a squirrel, of course. So again, it's just storytelling. It's personal storytelling. If you get into like solo RPGs or anything like that, it has a kind of a similar vibe. I pulled out from a couple of books. Like I have this one that's Bibliophilia Ephemera, and it had a lot of these like book spines and stuff like that, which I thought was perfect to use. And then I also had this one called Enchanted Forest, where I got some more woodland creatures and things like that to use in my book. So this is a great excuse to use up stickers and washi tape. I also have this one that I got a while ago. It's a Jim Holtz Ideology, and it's all just like little clippings of like quotes like just little snippets out of books and things. So it just says funny little things like "for good measure" or "his eyes were bright." And I thought this would be really fun as I'm going through my books. These might be like, I read a lot of fantasy, science fiction, cozy fantasy, little romance here and there, that some of these might be fun to add in that sort of feel like they came from the books that I'm reading. So, although I could just write quotes too. So, but anyway, so that's sort of the material that I've been using. One of the things I use a bunch of, which is like little offcuts of sticker sheets. So like oftentimes I will run a piece of sticker paper through my printer for like book covers and things like that. But oftentimes I have like a little section of it left over. And so I saved this to go in here since I do have pre-printed pages, so that I would be able to like put a piece of this in here and then I can write on it. This is not particularly fountain pen friendly if you're curious, but I can write on this with a gel pen or a felt tip or something like that. So, and I can use stamps on here. So what I did was I had like a little date stamp, so I put September 26 as in 2026, and so the adventure begins. So the first thing that I did on this first page was I put my character's name, and I was so tired I got this wrong. Her name is Nettle Thimblefloss because she's a thread mage. And I wrote Thistlefloss, so I'm gonna have to fix that. So I might put another sticker here and just do this again. But I got out my alphabet rubber stamps, which I thought was a great way to do like each of the classes and different things like that. So this is her second year. She's an apprentice. So this is my house, House of Arcane. There's usually a book for your house. So on top of your regular class syllabus books, you can read the book for your house, and they're sort of voted on. There's a whole Discord server, and you can join your house's Discord server and find out what the book is. So this is my page for my first class, which is alchemy. The prompt is health potion, the color red. So I have not decided yet which book I'm going to read, so I just printed out the book covers and I taped them in here with some washi tape until I make a final decision, and then I'll probably just stick it down, and then I have space here to sort of write any details when I started it, when I finished it, star ratings, that kind of thing. So then I have a page for my alchemy. For the qualified, I need Spirit Sight Elixir, so it needs to be a supernatural book. And I have a couple choices here as well. Some of it is I'm waiting to get a notification from the library, so if that doesn't come in, I have this one already. I bought it. So options. I added in some pages that just have kind of mood and vibe. If I want to add quotes from anything that I'm reading. I stamped in with various rubber stamps that I have. This is from Dominant Industry. This one, I believe, is from a set that I got off of Amazon for pennies. It's not the best stamp, but it looked kind of cool and gray. So for spells and incantations, I needed to read 2 different books, one for my ordinary and one for my qualified. Ordinary, the prompt was Recollection Charm, so I picked, it needed to be a book that I'd added to my TBR in the last month. And so I picked A Letter to the Luminous Deep, which I found on like BookBub. It was on sale last month for $1.99 for the ebook. So it had recently been added to my TBR. And then my qualified, this one, there's Intuition and Spell Work was the prompt. And the deal was you needed to like go to your bookshelf, and the 7th book that you touched would be the book that you were going to read. And you could do this with like an e-reader by like flipping the pages, you know, like whatever's in your TBR, and just like pointing at the screen or something. But what I ended up with was Matt Dinneman's Operation Bounce House. And then I left pages here for me to be able to write any notes or details. For inscription, the prompt was proper cataloging, and this was the one where I needed to use the alphabet generator. Like, it's basically an alphabet wheel. You You go online, do a Google search for alphabet wheel, and it comes up. You spin the wheel, whatever letter comes up, you look for a book that's title starts with that letter. So that is that. Just more sort of decorative bits, places to write later and add in details. But I just had so much fun just kind of playing with the whole sort of dark academia, sort of leaning into fall, going back to, this is the closest I get to going back to school, you know, and this is probably kind of nerdy thing I would have done in school too. So the last prompt was, I think, was restoration. Did I put, oh, here we go. Restoration, and this was the center page in my book, which had all this like artwork on the back, which didn't really go with my theme. So I just put some books on top, and it's fine. Maybe I'll figure something else to collage on here later. But so I have a couple I picked more than one. This is another case where depending on how much time I have allotted, I have this graphic novel called Faint of Heart. This Hearth Witch's Guide to Magic and Murder, which may or may not come in from the library. And then this is an option that I have because I actually have it on my bookshelf. But the prompt was Cardiac Biomancy, which is something with heart in the title. Heart, I think, yeah, it just had to have the heart, either a heart on the cover, which this one has a little tiny heart right there, like an actual human, an anatomical heart versus like a cartoon drawing of a heart. And then the other ones had heart in the title. So that is my last class. This is sort of kind of a little bit what I think of my thread mage looking like. But yeah, so I just left more places to write, to do any of the points tracking. Anytime I buy anything in the Emporium, I can note it in here. So yeah, this is my fun and play. So that's the end of my book. That's it. So I'm pretty excited about it. I think this is really fun, and I think this is a cool way to sort of keep track. So the Orilium Challenge starts the 1st of September. If you are interested, like I said, I'll keep links in the bottom so that you guys can sign up for it if you want. And again, it's not really a sign up. You basically go to the YouTube, and you can then go from there to they have like a Google Files with all of the documentation and a link to the Discord, and you can join their Discord. And I think the only thing you have to like request access to is which house, and there's documentation on the Google Drive for how to pick your house. And there's side quests, there's other challenges. They do another one like at winter, at the winter solstice for like a week, where it's just like a mini challenge, and maybe you read 2 or a handful of books or whatever, but mostly it's just this one in fall in September, and they do another one in spring in, I believe, April. So anyway, if you decide to join, you can find me on the Discord as well, in the Orilium Discord. I am well-apt-desk, like well-appointed desk, or leave a note in the comments and let me know if you're participating, and like maybe we can read the same book or do a little reading sprint together or something. So anyway, if you are a big goofy reader like me, please participate. It'll be really fun. And if not, thanks for watching my video anyway. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.